If nothing else, Circle is real honest about what it is. It is a community platform. Courses are a feature, not the thing. The problem isn't that Circle lied to you. It's that people that want to create courses keep buying it like it's a course platform, but it's not. So today I am running Circle through the same 3 tests with the same lesson that I've been running all the platforms through. The lesson is my brainstorming lesson from my own course. I have activities, I have pathways, and I have 3 questions. This is the first community platform that we're looking at. Let's dig in. So Circle doesn't market itself as a course platform, it markets itself as a membership space. And so it really does focus everything around community with courses as a potential spaces that you could have folks. So this is basically what it looks like. The spaces will be empty. That is how Circle organizes basically everything. So you would create a new space. If you click the plus button, create a space or space group, and then you can select to have posts, events, chat, members, images, or a course. So if you click course, you can choose self-paced, structured, or scheduled. So that would be your cohort style. And you just name it. You decide where you want to put it, and that's it. You have a new container to put your course in. So it is organized by lessons. So you would click edit lessons. Now they use the term section for module, right? And so you would have a module here, and then you can add a new lesson or quiz under each module or each section. And so you might have a second section that is module 2. So it is pretty easy once you get in here to start structuring things. And then the adding of pieces and parts to each module is very easy. When you go into edit a lesson, your general options are over on the left. That again is pretty easy. This enable featured media. This lets you turn that thing at the top off and on, and then you basically just get a blank page where you press the slash and it gives you all of your options. So instead of going through and clicking on all these things, I'm going to go show you what I have already built. I did just want to show like how many different types of options that you have, right? You can embed a lot of different things. You can upload a lot of different things. There's a lot of different ways that you can format it, which is really nice. Okay, so I wanted to jump into, where I have things already built out a little bit in order to show you what this thing looks like to answer the 3 questions. So yes, same lesson, but the first question that we are trying to answer is, can we track something other than clicking on, yes, I completed this button or watching the video? So first, I want to show you what it actually looks like on the client side, because that's going to impact my evidence for what this looks like on the other side. So this is me in here as a student. As you can see, it says that I've done 0 out of 2 lessons because that's all I have published. If I click start, it'll bring me straight to step 1 brain dump and all of the different things. These are still links out to my original content. But up in this upper right hand corner, there are 3 things. I can bookmark this lesson, I can open up the outline for this course, and I can click this comment box. As you can see, I have already been in here and commented some things. I was able to upload an image and a video. There are lots of nice options here, so you could submit links. Like I saw this and got excited that there was potentially some ways to get to answer yes conclusively to question 1. However, as you saw, it said 0. It did not note or keep track of the fact that I had left a comment. Now I am going to jump back into the designer side of things to show you what it looks like on my end. Okay, so when I come into the course dashboard, I can click on my student self, and it tells me there's no posts, there's no comments, and it tells me that I'm in 2 spaces. That's not really helpful. Also, we just saw that there were comments left, and so when I click comments, we can see that I did, in fact, as a student, comment and left 2 attachments. And I can click on it, and it'll take me there, and then as the instructor, I can respond, which you can see that I already did. So when I go back, I can also see quiz results, which I took a quiz and it's still saying that I did not complete any of this course. I can even see the results, but from both perspectives, it's not showing me that even though the activities were done, which is the more important part of this, it's not showing up as having completed. It's showing up in here, but I didn't get a notification that comments or quiz results were in. And so there's really no ability to track these things. They're showing up, yes, but it's not including the engaging parts, the active parts in completion. And that was our first question. Can you track something other than, yes, I did it in completion, and no, you can't. So we're going to go ahead and click complete lesson just so we can see what that looks like. So I completed this, and even though like clearly the quiz is done, it's still not being marked as complete. Back to curriculum. So now both of those are there. It has said that I have completed the course. If I refresh this page, it is saying my progress is 100%, even though it was at 0%. So there's potential here, right? Especially because we have that back and forth piece where we can see and engage with students directly in the comments. It doesn't pass because it's not actually counting that back and forth as part of the progress in the course. Okay, so question 2 is around pathways. So we're going to go into the edit lesson. I did try to make module 1 the whole jump start, but as you could see in the brain dump, there wasn't really a way to kind of make things jump the way that I would like. And so each different path and the instructions, like they all have to become their own lesson. So this fails the pathway question as well. And there's not really an easy or good workaround because having to lay out every single step in the course, we're going to end up with a lot of sections, that can feel overwhelming to folks. This definitely does not pass question 2. So if you've been watching this whole series, you probably have an idea of where question 3 is headed. So I did make that other lesson published and we can see that it is showing up in here. So question 3 is how much friction, right? Is there too much friction between consuming the content and doing the actual thing? So I'm going to go ahead and click into path 1 and you can see I've got the instructions here. I did go ahead and upload a video or add a YouTube video. I have my questions here. So something I didn't do that I would do is, say go to the comments and paste your brain dump if you'd like. So I've consumed the content. If I'm going to use the comment feature, I have to go up here to click into the comments and then put my brain dump and then click submit it. And then I have to click complete. Okay, so what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to show you some other options for workarounds. So long story short, this is going to fail question 3 as well because there are a lot of clicks. There's a lot of friction between the consuming and the doing. The workaround is that you can put forms and surveys and things like that in. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. So just like with everything else, you would add the slash. Once you scroll down past kind of the things that are very content delivery oriented, you get to embed. Now there's lots of different things that you can embed, but I am going to actually embed a form so we can see what that looks like. So this is a quiz. Should you actually build a course quiz? If you want that link, it is in the description. So they'll be able to complete the work directly in the course when I go back and show the student view of things. But again, this is a workaround because you as the teacher will have to go into your survey results to do any kind of feedback or anything like that. Now, different forms let you pull data into different spaces. And so you could, like I have this pulling into Kit for me. So you could do it that way. It is, again, taking them outside of the platform to do the work. And that's why I cannot pass it. But let's go take a look at what this looks like on the student end. So I'm going to go back into path 1. I am going to scroll down. And we can see that the quiz is there and I can start clicking on things in the quiz. I probably will even get results from this quiz. I'm just clicking. So different survey forms will let you do different types of questions, right? So the one I have on here is Jotform, and Jotform will let you do an open-ended question. So you can have space here that will help reduce the friction for them. It does create more friction for you, and you need to be able to give them feedback on something, it does become impossible to do that all in the same place. Okay, so now we are going to use Successible, the accessibility tool. I'm going to go back to our lesson page and do an analysis. So run the accessibility check. The alt text is missing from, I'm not even sure what that is highlighting. And then we have some skipped heading levels specifically above lessons. My guess is these are things that are invisible to us, but they are things that would show up with a screen reader. And that's what this is. We're trying to make this accessible, right? To everyone. So now I'm going to jump into a lesson and run a test as well. Okay, so no alt text issues here. And I have a skipped heading level. Guessing it's the same issue, something is invisible, but otherwise everything else looks good. So the things that are happening are things that are beyond my control. Okay, so this is what it looks like on the student side, or this imp side part is. I'm going to go ahead and run the accessibility checker again. No alt text issues or color contrast issues. We still have the heading issue, and that is the title up at the top. Again, that isn't something I can control. So everything looks pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and click on this one just to make sure. Run the accessibility checker again. And we still have a heading level issue. But our video is popping up good. So I'm going to move this out of the way and pull up the comments and see if we run into any issues here. We don't. Okay, so overall not bad. There are a couple of issues that are beyond my control. If you are interested in trying out Successible, the link is in the description. So what you need to ask yourself is the course the deliverable? Is that the product? Is that the experience? Or is the community the product and experience with just some course content in it? If community is your core offer and there's no expectation of a learning experience, the courses are a bonus, then Circle might work. But if the course is the thing that you're selling and the community is the bonus, then you might be building on the wrong foundation if you pick Circle. So Circle did fail all 3 tests, and it's not because it's a bad product. It's because it wasn't designed to be a learning platform. It's community first and courses second. The community feed is the homepage. The progress tracking defers to the button, right? And that's just because those things aren't priorities in a platform that's not designed for learning experiences. Not that you can't learn in community, but communities are also built for other reasons. It's just another platform not designed to ask whether or not people are actually learning something. If you're trying to decide if you're even ready to choose a platform, I have a quiz for that. There is a link in the description. Up next is Mighty Networks. Same lesson, same 3 tests. If it's not there, it'll be there next week.